The only condition is that you believe right now that you already have those things, that those prayers, your prayers, the things that you want are already realized, that you already have them. That is the only condition required to pray successfully. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be getting into Neville Goddard's Feeling is a Secret. This is chapter 3, prayer, and we're going to be covering the art of prayer and how to manifest anything to come into your world through this specific process of getting into the state akin to sleep. And also, we're going to be getting into how to disregard circumstances and things in your 3D world that are against you, that appear to be against you when you're manifesting something. Like if you're trying to manifest $1 million, but then all of a sudden you have all these bills come in and then you're thrown off from it and then you don't believe in your own manifestations. We're also going to cover that and how you can overcome those obstacles and still have a belief and still create and manifest anything that you want to come into your life. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into chapter 3, Feeling is a Secret by Neville Goddard. This chapter is titled Prayer. Prayer, like sleep, is also an entrance into the subconscious for manifestations. When you pray, enter into your closet, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father, which is in secret, and your Father, which is in secret, shall reward you openly. Matthew Chapter 6, verse 6. Prayer is an illusion of sleep which diminishes the impression of the outer world and renders the mind more receptive to suggestion from within. The mind in prayer is in a state of relaxation and receptivity akin to the feeling attained just before dropping off to sleep. So what prayer is doing is basically, it's a meditative state where your outside world starts to disappear. You start to go within yourself and create your own world from within your own imagination, within your own feeling states. By disconnecting yourself from the 3D world, you're shutting your 3D world off, and you're going within yourself and creating your own world and your own feelings. That way you can manifest that and have an easier time impressing the subconscious mind with a new feeling state, or already having, doing, or being something that you want to accomplish or something you want to manifest into your world. This is a much easier way to do that when you can disconnect yourself from the 3D world and go within and forget all about your 3D world. Disconnect completely, go within and create a feeling state through visualization, affirmations, or anything like this, whatever works better for you. So prayer is not so much what you ask for as how you prepare for its reception. Whatsoever things ye desire when ye pray, believe that you have received them, and ye shall have them. Mark 11:24. So what the Bible was telling us, it was giving us clues on how to manifest and create anything you want in your world. Whatever you desire, whatever you want, believe right now that you've already received them, that you already have them, and then you shall have them. It's giving us clues all through the Bible. All through the Bible, it's giving us clues how to use the law of assumption, how to manifest things into your world by taking in that frequency, that vibration, or that feeling state that you have already received the things that you want in life. You have already received them, and what would you feel like had you already received those things? And that's what you do when you go into prayer. You don't go into prayer asking God or asking the universe or asking the subconscious mind for something that you want, because that is not what the instructions are in the Bible for us. You have to, whatever you want, whatever you desire, you must go into prayer as if you have already received those things, and then you shall have them. Mark 11:24. It's written out for us in the Bible. These clues are there. Do not ask. You assume the feeling or the frequency or the vibration that you already have these things. And you go into prayer, you go into the drift, and then you impress the subconscious mind with that feeling that you already have these things. And then when you impress the subconscious mind with that feeling, then the subconscious mind is going to express that impression that you gave it into your world. It's going to shift realities. It's going to turn you into the version of yourself that you need to be in order to get those things, or it's going to open up lots of different doors for other people to come give it to you. But either way, you're going to get it, whether you change yourself, whether you go through failures, whether you go through trials and tribulations in order to develop yourself, in order to get those things, or you have other things, other doors open for you if you already have that conception of yourself where you're disciplined and you're ready for this amount of money or whatever it is that you're trying to receive. Okay, so once you impress the subconscious mind with already having something, you're going to get it if you land it right during prayer, and all of these clues are laid out for us in the Bible. All right, so the only condition required is that you believe that your prayers are already realized. All right, so I'm going to break this down very, very clearly because what Neville Goddard says here is very important and it's very simple. But I'm going to make this even more simple to understand, okay? Because this is the only condition required for you to manifest anything that you want into your world. The only condition is that you believe right now that you already have those things, that those prayers, your prayers, the things that you want are already realized, that you already have them. That is the only condition required to pray successfully. That's it. The only condition is that you already believe, that you believe right now that you already have those things. That's it. That is it. So your prayer must be answered if you assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your objective. The moment you accept the wish as an accomplished fact, the subconscious mind finds the means for its realization. To pray successfully, then, you must yield to the wish, that is, feel the wish fulfilled. So yield to the wish. And this is a big part of prayer right here, is yielding to the wish. And that's why you're supposed to go into this meditation, this meditative state or prayer, and disconnect yourself from your 3D world, because then you can connect with it and then you can just think about it. You can think about, what it would feel like had you already had these things, because you're disconnected from the 3D world. You're now in your own world, living in your own world, disconnected from everything, knowing that anything is possible to you. Anything is possible to you in this state, in this meditative state where you're disconnected from your 3D world, and then you're yielding to it. You're just accepting it as an accomplished fact right now, and how would that feel? And you're doing this in an effortless way because you're just connecting with it and you're having a good time doing this. Don't force it. You're yielding to the wish as an accomplished fact. All right, so the perfectly disciplined person is always in tune with the wish as an accomplished fact. And this comes down to how disciplined is your focus? How disciplined is your focus, and how developed is the muscle of your mind? Like doing the leaf exercise, doing the reverse exercise that Neville Goddard points out in The Power of Awareness. If you can do those things, you practice those, that develops that part of the mind where you can easily be perfectly disciplined and always be in tune with your wish as an accomplished fact, no matter what's happening in your 3D world that's contradicting that. These are the type of things when you have that muscle of the mind where you can stay focused on this one thing, which is the feeling of your wish fulfilled. No matter what's going on around you, the distractions in your world, you're able to focus on this feeling with laser-like focus because the muscle of your mind is so developed. Because when you do the leaf exercise, you're counting the leaves. You're not letting your mind be distracted or running off somewhere else. You bring it back. You're bringing it back 70 times 7. 70 times 7, you bring your mind back to that leaf over and over and over and over. And then that trains your mind to then stick and focus on the wish fulfilled. Once you find that wish fulfilled, you find that feeling of it, you capture that feeling, and you focus your attention on that and what it looks like, what that would look like, what would that feel like. And then you hold on to that with your attention as a perfectly disciplined mind, always in tune with the wish as an accomplished fact. And also, the perfectly disciplined person knows that consciousness is the one and only reality, and that consciousness is an illusion, that it's a hologram. It's a high-tech simulated game that's projected from inside of you out to the screen of space. So it's basically just a movie that it's not real. It's not a real world. So the perfectly disciplined person studies this, and they remember that. They know that. So when they go through their day and they deal with interactions throughout their day, they know that this world isn't real. And the only thing that's real is holding on to the feeling of already having the thing that you want. That should be your main focus if you are perfectly disciplined. And know that consciousness is the one and only reality. And that ideas and feelings are facts of consciousness and are as real as objects in space. Therefore, the perfectly disciplined person never entertains a feeling which does not contribute to his or her happiness. For feelings are the causes of the actions and the circumstances of his or her life. On the other hand, the undisciplined mind or the undisciplined person finds it difficult to believe that which is denied by the senses, and usually accepts or rejects solely on the appearances of the senses. So the undisciplined person is reacting to the 3D world and thinks the 3D world is real. And they think that those are the causes that create their life, that the 3D world is actually creating everything, and that's a real world, but really it's not. But the undisciplined person does not understand this and accepts or rejects solely on the appearances of the senses. Because of this tendency to rely on the evidence of the senses, it is necessary to shut them out before starting to pray. And that's why it's so important to go to meditation, do this before you go to sleep, and totally disconnect from your 3D world as you're using your imagination and create these feeling states or frequencies or vibrations. It's very important to do this because then you can shut out the 3D world and then create your own world within, because that's the real world is within you. And then you create this. And this is a disciplined mind. A disciplined mind knows that the outside world, the 3D world, is a hologram, and that the real world is within you in your imagination. And whenever you are in a state of mind of, I should like to, but I cannot, the harder you try, the less you are able to yield to the wish. So whenever you are in the state of, I should like to, but I cannot, I can't just believe this, I don't believe that the 3D world's a hologram, I don't believe this, I don't believe my imagination can create reality, then the harder you try, the less you are able to yield to the wish. You never attract that which you want, but you always attract that which you are conscious of being. And that is your conception of yourself, your identity. So you never attract that which you want, because then you go back to this asking. Then you're asking God for something. You're asking the subconscious mind, or you're asking the universe for something. And that's not what we were instructed to do from the Bible. The Bible instructed us to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and believe that we already have it. And then we go into prayer this way, and then it is given to us. You never attract that which you want, but you always attract that which you are conscious of being. So prayer is the art of assuming the feeling of being and having that which you want. That is the art of prayer. It is assuming the feeling of being or having or believing that you already have everything that you want. So if you go into prayer, you go into your meditation, you go into your prayer, and you're wanting and you're asking for something, and you're not in the state of already having it, this is what's going to happen right here. Okay, so when the senses confirm the absence of your wish, all conscious effort to counteract this suggestion is futile and tends to intensify the suggestion. So the subconscious mind or God is going to create obstacles. It's going to intensify that suggestion of the absence of the thing that you want. So it's going to push it away even further because you're not connected with it. You don't have the belief that you already have it. You're not in the feeling that you already have it. And then you're trying to force it. And just like it was stated in the previous chapter, that you cannot command the subconscious mind. You can't command God to give you something. You have to persuade the subconscious mind to give it to you. You cannot force and command the subconscious mind to give you something. You have to persuade it by acting as if and feeling as if you already have the thing. You already have what you want to do, be, or have already. And that's how you persuade the subconscious mind to do this. Just like Neville Goddard states right here, prayer is the art of yielding to the wish and not the forcing of the wish. Whenever your feeling is in conflict with your wish, feeling will be the victor every single time because feeling is the secret. Whenever your feeling is in conflict with your wish, feeling will be the victor every time. The dominant feeling invariably expresses itself. Prayer must be without effort. In attempting to fix an attitude of mind which is denied by the senses, effort is fatal, because if you're using effort, then you're not in the state of already having it, because once you have it, you're no longer forcing anything. It's no longer, you're connected to it now. You are it. You are the thing now. That is your identity. And another way to successfully yield to the wish as an accomplished fact is you must create a passive state, a kind of reverie or meditative reflection similar to the feeling which precedes sleep. In such a relaxed state, the mind is turned from the objective world and easily senses the reality of a subjective state. So you're in this state akin to sleep where you're half awake and half asleep, but you're still in control of the direction of your attention. Okay, so it is a state in which you are conscious and quite able to move or open your eyes, but have no desire to do so. An easy way to create this passive state is to relax in a comfortable chair or on a bed. If on a bed, lie flat on your back with your head on a level with your body. So get rid of the pillow. So lay flat on your back with your head on level with your body. So no pillow. Close the eyes and imagine that you are sleepy. So you're imagining that you're sleepy to induce that state. So imagining that you are sleepy. So if you're not sleepy, imagine that you are sleepy. Feel, I am sleepy, so very sleepy. Even affirm that. I am sleepy, so very sleepy. So I just got sleepy when I just did that just now. So if you affirm this, you are going to create that sleepy state, or you can just imagine it or visualize that while you're affirming it. Okay. So, and in a little while, a faraway feeling accompanied by a general lassitude and loss of desire to move envelops you. You feel a pleasant, comfortable rest and not inclined to alter your position, although under other circumstances you would not be at all comfortable. When this passive state is reached, imagine that you have realized your wish. So when you come and get into this state where you're half asleep, half awake, but you're still in control of the direction of your attention, that is when you have reached this passive state. And then you can imagine then that you have realized your wish, because now you're completely disconnected from your 3D world. But this state isn't exactly required to manifest anything. This is a state akin to sleep, which is very difficult to do. This took me so much practice to master this. This took me years of doing this exercise over and over, and it took me so long to be able to get in this state where I'm not awake, but I'm not asleep, but I'm still in control of the direction of my attention. This took some really, really hard work for me to do. That may not be the same for everybody, but it was for me, and it took a long time for me to master this. But now I'm able to do this, but this is not the only way to manifest, because this is just a sure way to do it. This is the way that you completely disconnect from your 3D world and create a completely passive state where you can easily impress the subconscious mind with anything that you want to happen to you, anything you want to create into your world. So Neville Goddard possessed this power, okay? So he may not have had to, really had to master this and taken years for being able to do it. He doesn't talk about that, but this is a very difficult, at least for me it was, but it took me years to be able to master this technique right here, to be able to get into the actual state akin to sleep. But it can be done, but you can manifest other things and anything that you want by just affirming or visualizing as you're going to sleep over and over and over, because eventually you will, if you start visualizing in an odd position, eventually you will get into this state anyway. So you can just start visualizing, or you can start affirming as you're just laying down and getting ready for sleep. And as you're doing that, you're going to take that feeling into this passive state on its own. So you don't have to really create the passive state and then start visualizing within that passive state. That's really difficult to do, but you can start visualizing before that, and eventually you're going to pass through the drift, and then you're going to impress the subconscious mind with that. Just keep doing the repetition with that, and you will land that eventually. Okay, so, and then Neville Goddard explains what you do when you get into the state akin to sleep. So when the passive state is reached, imagine that you have realized your wish. Now, or not how it was realized, but simply the wish fulfilled. Imagine in picture form what you desire to achieve in life, and then feel yourself as already achieved it. It's already done. Thoughts produce tiny little speech movements which may be heard in the passive state of prayer as pronouncements from without. However, this degree of passivity is not essential to the realization of your prayers. All that is necessary is to create a passive state and feel the wish fulfilled. So he's admitting there that it's not the only way to manifest, okay? That's just one way you can do it, and if you can do that, you can create anything that you want. There's nothing that can stop you, and you can actually see results, very, very quickly in your world if you are able to master that and really get into the state akin to sleep in that passive state, and then create your wish fulfilled and create that feeling state. It will come into your world like absolutely 100% every single time. So, all right, so all you can possibly need or desire is already yours. You need no helper to give it to you. It is all yours right now. Call your desires into being by imagining and feeling your wish fulfilled. As the end is accepted, you become totally indifferent as to possible failure. For acceptance of the end wills the means to that end. So when you emerge from the moment of prayer, it is as though you were shown the happy and successful end of a play, although you were not shown how that end was achieved. So you're not going to see the sequence of events that leads up to it. You're going to come out of this and you're going to feel that end, that successful end of the play. And you're shown the successful end of that play, but not how it happened, just the end of it. And this is also goes back to the shocking time sense and the positron. So when you go into this passive state, when you're half asleep, half awake, but you're still in control of the direction of your attention, and you create this feeling, and you're shown the end. That's when you shock that positron, which Richard Feynman won the Nobel Prize for. They actually photographed it in the cosmos. And you actually have so many of them in the brain at all times, so many positrons. So when you activate one of those in the future, you're led to that. So when you actually feel that in this passive state, you feel the end and you make that real in this passive state, then you shock time sense, and then everything in your world shifts. There's this big shift, and then you're led. Then there's going to be a sequence of events that are going to lead you right to that moment that you created in this passive state. And that's how this works. Okay, so, however, having witnessed the end, regardless of any anticlimactic sequence, you remain calm and secure in the knowledge that the end has been perfectly defined. So that also goes back to the perfectly disciplined person. But when you're shown that end in this passive state, there's nothing that can sway you from not believing that it's going to happen, because that's part of it. That's part of this passive state and getting in the state akin to sleep and actually impressing the subconscious mind in this passive state. Like you're completely calm. You're perfectly calm and secure that it's going to happen. There's nothing in your 3D world that can sway you from that once you do that correctly. But like I said before, it's not necessary to manifest, but it probably is the most sure way to manifest anything in your world. But with something that is that sure, it comes with a degree of difficulty and mastering. But anyone can put in the work and get this. Maybe some of you watching this right now can already do this, but it took me a long time to be able to master that. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. We're going to be getting into chapter 4 next, which is feeling, and that will be the final chapter of this book. All right, I love you, and that's the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to be one thing you guys are grateful for, or any comments or any future content or ideas that you have, put those in the comment box below, or any success stories, put those in the comment box below. I read all the comments. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.